Like I said, the quadratic formula, you don't need to memorize it because it is given to you in your list of formulae, right? You can solve any quadratic equation once it can be solved, and we'll talk about that after because not all quadratic equations have solutions. Some of them have the same solution, like in the example before, where we had the same 3x minus 1 by 3x minus 1 as the two factors. So x is just 1/3. Um, Sometimes you'll have the one answer. So a quadratic can have one real solution, two real solutions, or zero solutions. All right. For quadratics that have one real solution or two real solutions, you can use the quadratic formula for them. So just to like tell you all a little bit about how we determine if a quadratic has a solution or not, we could talk about what is called the discriminant, right? And the discriminant is where it's noted, sorry, yeah, the discriminant is b squared minus 4ac. All right. When b squared minus 4ac is less than 0, meaning that when it is a negative number, right, then the quadratic has no real solutions, right? So the quadratic has no real solutions, right? If b squared minus 4ac is greater than 0, meaning that it is positive, then the quadratic has two real solutions. And then if b squared, the discriminant, it's called the discriminant, b squared minus 4ac is equal to 0, then you have one solution, one unique solution, right? And that is how we could tell whether any quadratic has, so what type of solutions it has, right? So one unique solution, if the discriminant b squared minus 4ac is if it's equal to 0, if it's less than 0, if it's greater than 0, right? So for example, let me show you something, right? What that means. So let's say we have a quadratic 3x squared plus 2x plus 5 is equal to 0. Somebody tell me quickly, what is A, B, and C in this equation? Anybody tell me what is A, B, and C in this equation?
3,
A is 3,
2,
B is 2.
and C is 5.
Perfect. And C is 5. So if I want to use the discriminant to determine whether this quadratic has a solution or what type of solution it has, I'll substitute A, B, and C into B squared minus 4AC. So wherever I have B, I'm replacing it with 2. So this will be 2 squared. 4 multiplied by A, which is 3, multiplied by C, which is 5. So this would be 2 squared is 4, and 4 times 3 is 12, and 12 times 5 is 60. So B minus 60 is negative 56. So in this case, the discriminant B squared minus 4AC is negative, which means it's less than 0. Therefore, this quadratic has no real solutions. So that's what I mean, right? And that's what we mean by checking to determine the nature of the type of solutions, the nature of a solution, sorry, of a quadratic. You can take A, B, and C, substitute it into what we call the discriminant, and see whether that answer is positive, negative, or equal to 0. If it is negative, as is the case with this equation, then the quadratic will have no real solutions. Therefore, it cannot be factorized and it cannot be solved using any of the other two formula or completing the square. All right. if the quadratic, when you substitute a, b, and c into the discriminant b squared minus 4ac, if you substitute it there and the answer is positive, meaning it's greater than 0, you'll have two real solutions and you can solve it by any one of the methods. And then finally, if you substitute those values a, b, and c of any quadratic and it's into the b squared minus 4ac, the discriminant, and the answer is equal to 0, then you have one unique solution, right? So for today, we're not going to look at any of them that don't have any solutions. We're going to look at proper ones, right? So let's look at if I had x squared plus 4x plus 3 is equal to 0. So let me introduce you guys to the quadratic formula. It's given by x is equal to the minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, which is the discriminant, right? All over 2a. This is the quadratic formula, and it is given to you in your list of formulae. All right, so to apply the formula, we need to identify A, B, and C. Somebody tell me, what is A, B, and C in this equation? X squared plus 4x plus 3. What is A, B, and C? Ladies, A, B, and C in this quadratic, x squared plus 4x plus 3. Caitlin, tell me, what is A, B, and C, honey?
A is 1,
Uh-huh.
B is 4,
Yeah.
C is 3.
C is 3. So that means in the equation, sorry, in the formula, wherever I have A, I'm going to replace it with 1. Wherever I have B, I'm replacing that with 4. And wherever I have C, I'm replacing it with 3. All right? So this would be X is equal to, well, it's minus B. Okay? So you're keeping that minus sign as part of the formula. Okay? So minus 4, because B is 4, plus or minus the square root of b squared, so that would be 4 squared, take away 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is 3. And all of that is divided by 2 times a. A is 1, so 2 times 1. And now we simplify. So minus 4 plus or minus the square root of 4 squared is 16, and 4 times 1 is 4 times 3 is 12, so that'll be 16, take away 12, all divided by 2 times 1, which is 2. So now we simplify again. So this will be is equal to minus 4 plus or minus the square root of 16 take away 12 is 4 all over 2. All right, so therefore x would be equal to negative 4 plus the square root of 4, which is 2, divided by 2, or x is equal to negative 4, take away the square root of 4, which is 2, all over 2. So this will end up being negative 4 plus 2 is negative 2 over 2, which is 1, negative 1, sorry, or negative 4 minus 2 is negative 6 over 2, which will give me negative 3. So your solutions here are x is equal to negative 1 and negative 3. Let's go through it again, guys. You first need to identify A, B, and C from your quadratic equation, and then you substitute those values into the quadratic formula. That means wherever you have B, you replace it with 4. Wherever you have A, you replace it with 1. And wherever you have C, you replace it with 3. Okay? So once you substitute that, now you may wonder, why is it plus or minus the square root? Well, it's because the square root of any number is actually plus or minus, right? So think about it. Negative 2 times negative 2 is equal to positive 4. And similarly, positive 2 times positive 2 is also equal to negative 4. Therefore, the square root of 4 and any number would be positive or negative. So the square root of 4 is either positive 2 or negative 2. So that's why in the formula you have this plus or minus. All right, that's where it comes from. Let's look at another question. Let's say we have second. X squared, wait, let me write this a little higher. X squared oh my gosh, what's going on with these dogs? Are y'all hearing the dogs in the back? Minus 7x minus 8 is equal to 0. All right. Nia, tell me what is A, B, and C?
What you said, Miss glitching?
Oh no. Sorry, I want you to tell me what is A, B, and C.
Sure, no problem. No problem. A is 1, B is negative 7, and 8 is negative 8. And
Beautiful.
wait, no, and 8 is, AC would be negative 8.
Hold on. We're not factorizing. We're going to use the formula.
The formula. Oh,
Yeah. That we just looked at, the quadratic formula. Right? Now, this question here, this x squared minus 7x minus 8, we already used this exact same question to factorize before. But I want to show you all how we use the formula when you have like negatives in there, right? So recall that the formula is x is equal to minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, all divided by 2a, right? So we're going to substitute our values. A is 1, B is negative 7, and C is negative 8. Now, guys, I want you to be very careful here, right? The formula itself is a minus in front of that B. So you got to keep that minus in front of that B. And B in this one is negative 7. So in brackets, I'll put negative 7, right? Because B is negative 7. So be minus by negative 7. Take away plus or minus the square root of, again, it's B squared. So that's negative 7 squared, right? Minus 4 times A, which is 1, and C, which is negative 8. So negative 8 will go in brackets as well, right? So I want you all to be mindful of that. It's very important, okay? And all of that is divided by 2 times A. A is 1. All right. Oh, I'm also going to show you all a quadratic calculator on the internet that you could use. And it literally would type out the whole solution for you. If you're having trouble with typing it out, if you're having trouble with applying the formula, there's this cool online quadratic calculator. So I'll send it to you afterwards. All right, so this will be minus by a minus is a plus. So the two minuses will change to a positive. So this will become 7 plus or minus the square root of negative 7 squared is positive 49. Minus 4 times 1 is minus 4 times minus 8 is minus 32. All over 2 times 1, which is 2. So then this would be to simplify, this would be x is equal to 7 plus or minus the root of 49, take away 32, which is 25, all over 2. So therefore, x would be equal to 7 plus the square root of 5, the square root of 25, which is 5 over 2, or x is equal to 7 take away 5 over 2. So that would mean x is equal to 7 plus 5 is 12 over 2, or 7 take away 5, which is 2 over 2. So that would mean that x is equal to 12 divided by 2 is 6, or 2 divided by 2 is, sorry, not 2, 1. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So the tricky part, I would say, about using the quadratic formula is when you have those negative signs, right? You got to be careful with those negative signs. Let's do another one. And this will be the last one that we're going to do for today, right? So let's look at 6x squared take away 5x plus 1 is equal to 0. Okay, somebody, actually, I'm not saying somebody because then nobody answers. Athena, are you still with us?
Yeah. Miss, can you hear me?
I'm hearing you perfectly. What's A, honey?
A is 6,
Yeah. What's B?
-5,
Yeah. And what is C?
1.
1. Perfect. So I'm writing over the formula so everybody can see it. It's x squared, sorry, is equal to minus B plus or minus the root of B squared minus 4AC all divided by 2A. All right, so now we're going to substitute our values in there. Wherever I have B, I'm replacing it with -5, but be mindful that this is minus, is part of the formula. So you got to keep that minus sign and then substitute your -5 in there. So it will be minus -5 plus or minus the square root of, again, B squared. So that'll be -5 squared. Take away 4 times A, which is 6 times C, which is 1. All over 2 times A, so A is 1. And now simplifying, I get minus 5 will just be plus 5, so positive 5, plus or minus the square root of, well, -5 squared is -5 times -5, so that's 25. -4 times 6 is -24 times 1, so that's -24. So all of that, it'll be 25 take away 24. 2 times 1 is 2. So simplifying again would be 5 plus or minus the root of 25 take away 24 is 1. All of that over 2. So therefore, x is equal to 5 plus the square root of 1, which is 1, divided by 2, or 5 minus the square root of 1, which is 1, all over 2. So this would mean that x is 6 over 2, which is 3, right? 6 divided by 2 is 3, or 5 minus 1, that's 4 over 2, which is 2. And those are your two solutions of x, right? I know I said I was just going to do one more, but I want to do one more. And this would be it, I promise. All right, so let's look at 5x squared. No, actually, 3x squared take away 8x plus 5. Okay, Zafi, you there?
Yeah.
What is A, B, and C, honey?
Okay, so A is 3,
Yeah,
B is -8,
yeah,
and C is 5.
beautiful. And C is 5. All right, so using the quadratic formula,
Mhm.
x squared, sorry, not x squared, what am I saying? X is equal to minus B plus or minus the square root of
Mhm.
B squared minus 4AC all divided by 2a. So if you want to give it a shot with substituting the values, or you want me to do it?
Substituting as in like
Replacing B, A, and C with what they are.
I'll try.
Okay.
So B would be -8.
Yeah, so it'll be minus 8. Uh-huh.
How you say the add thingy? Add
Plus or
all
minus.
plus or minus the
Yeah.
square root of -8 squared,
Yeah. -8 squared. Yeah.
and then it'll be minus 4
Yeah.
and 15.
Well,
We
A
do
is
it.
3. Let's write out each of them. So
Okay.
3 and 5, yeah.
So
But
yeah,
yes, that is 15, correct. All over 2 by
3.
good. Good job, Zafi. Good job. Right, so now let's simplify. So this would be x is equal to, well, the minus and the minus will cancel, right? Well, not cancel, but they change to a positive because this is minus times minus, so that'll be 8. Plus or minus, or add or subtract, however you want to say it. Do you know what -8 squared is?
And
8 times
would
8?
it would be it's 72, is it?
64, 64.
64.
Yeah,
Okay.
9 eights are 72. So 8 eights are 72. Take away 8, which is 64. Yeah. And then 4 times 3 times 5 is 60. 4 threes are 12, and 12 times 5 is 60. All over 2 times 3, which is 6. So then this would be 8 plus or minus the square root of 64, take away 60, which is 4. All divided by 6. Okay, so then x would be equal to 8. What's the square root of 4?
2.
2. So it'll be 8 plus 2 divided by 6, or 8 minus 2 divided by 6. So 8 plus 2 is 10 over 6, or oops, I wrote x here by accident. So it'll be 8. So it'll be 8 minus 2 is 6 over 6. So 10 over 6 is 5 over 3, or 6 over 6 is 1. So your solutions are x is equal to 5 over 3 or 1.
Okay.
Good. Girls, it might just seem a little excessive to begin with, but once you correctly identify your A, B, and C and you substitute correctly, it should be fine because you could literally type this whole thing into your calculator. However, I am going to share, I did make a video actually about the online calculator. It's on my TikTok, so I'm going to find it and send it to you all in the group chat. Let me just stop this recording.